going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of I Know Chris and Sis. Today we are cooking
Seafood Fra Diavolo.
You heard it. That means
devil brother.
You know it. So it's going to be the first time we've cooked this meal, or I think we've not even had this meal before.
We have not.
She has not had this meal, and we have not cooked this meal. So this ought to be very interesting. So we want y'all to stick around, and in a few minutes we're going to get over to the stove and show you how to throw this together, and hopefully it's going to be tasty, tasty, not yucky, yucky. We'll see you in a few.
What? It's mainly goggles.
I think Sis is going on a bike ride. It's Cat Lady.
I'm just kidding. Alright, so we've got some water boiling for our noodles. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. This is the time to season your noodles, when the water's boiling. And the kind of noodles we're going to use today are bucatini noodles. And these are different than regular spaghetti noodles in that there's a little tiny hole that goes all the way through the noodle to capture the sauce. Just going to drop them in your boiling water. And I just push them down. Don't burn yourself. And then once we get those in the pot, we're going to let it come back to a boil and let it boil for about 7 to 8 minutes. Then we're going to take those off. I would try to show them the hole, but you can't see the hole. You just can't see it. It's too small.
The hole's too smart.
Too small. All right, so let's go over the ingredients briefly that we're going to use today. So we already have our bucatini noodles cooking. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is just 1 tablespoon. I already have the other one in my saucepan. We're going to use a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, half a teaspoon of dried oregano, 5 minced garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of diced peppercini with a tablespoon of the juice in there, 2 large shallots diced. This is a cup of white wine. You can use any white wine. I'd use something that you like to drink. That way you don't have to waste it. Dry white wine is better. This is Chardonnay. This is minced basil. This is just for the topping at the end. This is a 28-ounce can of peeled Roma tomatoes, and I just crushed them by hand. We have 6 ounces of sea scallops. We have 6 ounces of clams, and this is actually a little over 6 ounces. They come by the bag, so Chris and I are not wasting. We got 6 ounces of large shrimp that have been peeled and deveined. And it called for 6 ounces of lump crab meat, but our local grocery store sells it in 8 ounces, so we're not crying about that. We're going to use the 8 ounces of that as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add our shrimp and our scallops. I have a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan, and then we're going to cook them just until they're barely done, because we're going to add them back to the pan at the end. So about 2 minutes. And then we will take them up. And these cook pretty quickly, so you have to be careful that they don't burn. I've got them on low. My oven tends to cook pretty quickly, even on low, so I have to really watch these. Alright, we're going to let them do their magic. Because the shrimp do go very quickly. Get off of there. So we'll go ahead and get the shrimp up, because they look like they're getting ready a lot faster than the scallops. And these are about 2 minutes each side. I just got some paper towels here so the oil can drain off of them. So when we add it back to our pasta, it won't be greasy. Just getting up some of the drippings. Or not. Okay, let's do it this way.
Scallops like
You're out. You're out of here.
Let's see, I know Chris looking at him saying, I'm about to eat y'all up.
So we're going to add another tablespoon of oil.
Another tablespoon of oil.
And we're going to do the oregano, garlic. Should have a spoon. There you go. Not a professional chef here. And the shallots. And we're going to let this just cook for about a minute so everything softens up. Let me stir that over. Oh, it smells good. That garlic starts cooking. Gonna go ahead and add in our crushed red pepper also. And then just let it...
For the color and the heat.
Yes. This is the devil part of the seafood dish.
You put your brother in the dish? What?
Yes, I did. Chris likes it hot. I like it medium. But you can add more if you like it really spicy. Alright, so this is cooked for about a minute. I like my shallots kind of soft. We can smell it, and it smells wonderful in here. So we're going to add the crushed red tomatoes in. Well, all tomatoes are red. Not really, there's all green tomatoes and heirloom tomatoes, but these are red. Give this a stir. And now this is going to go, we're going to bring it up to just a light boil. Get everything incorporated here. And we're going to let it cook for about 5 minutes so it can cook down. And then we're going to come back and add that wine in.
Wine?
Yes.
I'm all for that.
Me too. I wish you could smell it through the camera. Alright, so we got our tomato sauce cooking and smelling great here. It's been boiling away for about 5 minutes. So now we're going to add a cup of the white wine in. And we're also going to let this cook and boil on low for about 5 more minutes. Alright, so this has been bubbling away. It looks and smells awesome. So we're going to go in with our clams. Splatter, splatter. And you're going to put these in, and they are going to cook on a medium heat for about 8 minutes. Alright, so look at there. They've been going for about 8 minutes now. Smell great, looks great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add in some lump crab meat. And Chris and I noticed this is swimming crab meat, as opposed, I guess, to the crabs that don't swim. I don't know what the heck that means. I'm healthy and I work out, so only crabs that work out can be in our food. So just going to add this in. Now, because this is the lump crab meat, it's going to be white. If you get like from the fin, then that's usually going to be a darker colored crab meat. Also going to go ahead and add in our pepperoncinis and the pepperoni juice. Sorry. Get all that in there because I love that flavor. Give it a little shush around. You can smell that crab. It smells very crabby.
It's Krabby Patties.
It definitely smells seafoody. So we're going to add in our shrimp and scallops. Going to add that back to the pan also. I'm just going to try and let those
dump them in.
Roll in there without taking the paper towel.
On the floor. Finn will be eating our food.
Yes, he will. All right. That all in there in the pan. This would be much better in like a pan with higher sides on it, maybe even a paella pan, but I don't have one of those, and this is just a little cooking experience for Chris and I, or experiment. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some fresh chopped basil. And I didn't tell you guys before, recipe calls for fresh parsley. I am not a big lover of fresh parsley unless I'm putting it in like some homemade meatballs that I'm making for spaghetti. Otherwise, I like it just the regular dried. I'm gonna add that in there too. And I'm actually going, once I get this kind of started around, add a little more salt and pepper in just for some seasoning as well. All right, everybody, so this is our finished dish.
Ta-da.
And I've got to tell you, it smelled awesome until we put the swimming crab in. Then I was like, well, that's some fishy smelling crab. So we'll see how it tastes.
Yeah, the crab was a little loud smelling.
Yes.
Everything smelled wonderful before we dumped the crab in there.
So
the crab was good though. The can says it's good.
Yes. And this will be an honest review. This is not my recipe. This is a recipe that we're reviewing. And I got us some nice
bread looks delicious.
baguettes to have with it.
The food looks delicious too. I love seafood dishes, and it's got scallops in it. We got shrimp in there. We got crab meat. We got clams in there. So it's going to be what it's going to be. We're going to try it and just tell you. I mean, would I eat it again, or would I cook it, or would I suggest it? We'll try it and we'll let y'all know.
So we're going to plate it up.
Yeah. Okay, sis. I enjoyed cooking this with you today, even though I did not do none of the cooking. I just stood behind the camera like a big idiot. But anyway, we're going to try this and let you know what we think about it real quick. I do love shrimp, and there's a big juicy one right there. So.
I have mostly bucatini.
Why?
Because I'm afraid of the swimming crabs.
My sister says the swimming crabs might get us later. Okay.
Bucatini is great.
Bucatini. Sounds like a dance. I can taste.
Do you get the red pepper flakes?
The red pepper flakes. I like spicy stuff, so I'm all good with that.
Sorry about the...
Yeah. I got a scallop on there. Let's give it a try. The crab was just really fishy smelling. And the dish was smelling so wonderful with all the different things we put in, different ingredients. And when the crab opened up, it was like, wow. And it wasn't spoiled, it was just very fishy smelling and kind of overwhelmed all the other. Yeah, the dish was just like drowned out by the smell.
I was really, really excited to try this up until the point that the lump crab meat went in. That smell was quite overwhelming. Would I make this recipe again? Probably not. Now, if you're someone that scent doesn't bother you, and there's a lot of people who, you know, they eat it raw, and that doesn't put them off at all. So I'm just a little different. I don't like to smell my seafood when I'm eating it. But I mean, is it edible? Absolutely.
Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't smell.
With it too?
It doesn't smell like boiled crab legs or nothing like that. It has a distinct, I don't know, just a very strong fishy smell. And I guess if maybe I wasn't in the kitchen smelling it while it cooked and somebody plated it up and brought it out to me, it would be totally different. But standing over to the top of it when it was put in there, it just kind of like, ooh, it was a little overwhelming.
Slapped you in the face.
Yeah, it was quite a bit. Would I cook this again? I would do it again, but I would leave the crab meat out. So
Absolutely.
I think it'd be fine just leave the crab meat out. Maybe add more shrimp or more scallops and just leave the crab meat out. Substitute that, and I think it'd be wonderful.
I also would add to this review that I would like for it to have more of the sauce in it, because I like to dip my bread in. If you've ever had like mussels or clams with white wine and garlic and onion, it's delicious. And I love to have the juice, if you will. You don't really get that much juice with this. There's still some up here in the serving dish, but not as much as I would hope for.
Agree with you.
So,
yep.
It was fun being in the kitchen with brother.
Yep.
Putting this together, we laughed and had a good time. I also think too, without the crab, it would be a really good dish.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much going to wrap this review up. So if you do me a favor and you're still here watching and you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or as I like to say, a two-wide if you didn't like it. Leave a comment suggesting other dishes you might want us to try if there's something you'd like to see us cook. And we'll be glad to try to do that for y'all. But that's pretty much it, sister. I enjoyed it today. And pretty much until the next time, my friends, y'all know what to do. Stay safe, and as always,
just keep tubing.